day 16 of my polyphasic sleep experiment, and uh, I lost my voice. I was talking to my grandma on the phone, and I was screaming because she couldn't hear well, and I was I was sick a bit, and I had a sore throat, and I was screaming a bit today in the kindergarten, and I was there whole day. I was there from 7 till 4, and I lost my voice, kind of. Well, you can hear me probably. I can hear myself, but it's like really a trouble speaking. And I'm smiling because we had an argument about politics, and I was trying to explain that you shouldn't spend so much energy about worrying about your government, and put more energy in communicating with people that disagree with you, that you actually can talk to. And I strongly believe that if you manage to have a good communication with people who think differently, then the government will eventually just reflect that, and that's the it's better to put your energy into that, because it's much more effective than going to rallies and getting arrested and screaming and getting arrested. And they're living in Russia, so they got arrested. um, and I asked them, well, what do you actually want? And they said, well, we want the court system to be more fair, and we want the bureaucracy to be more fair. And they said, well, it was better a few years ago, and it got worse. And I asked, well, when did it get worse? And they said, well, when we started protesting. So I said, okay, so it's basically a reaction to your protest, and it got worse. So, and then they kind of try to explain a very battle-like mentality, that if somebody hurts you, you're gonna hurt them back. And I try to explain them that they cannot hurt back a king, czar, and it will be not wise. But if they actually want something to change, they can maybe talk to people. And it made sense when I explained it to them, and I did it very enthusiastically, and I hope it worked, because I don't want them to get arrested, and especially I don't want them to get arrested for something that is useless. And I'm sorry, but protesting against something that is ooh, I don't know if I want to say that. Protesting against something that most people in your country agree with is a waste of energy. And I have the feeling that most people in Russia do agree with the current government. So when they are protesting, they are actually spending their energy screaming against a wall, and they would be much better off if they just went to these people who disagree with them and tried to ask them, well, what is your opinion? What do you like? And trying to get better communication with them. And I repeat myself, I'm sorry. And sleeping, yeah, okay, I'm wide awake and I have a lot of energy, and I spend the whole day in the kindergarten, and I'm basically thinking very clearly. I am focusing very well. I am not as emotional as I usually am in life. I am much calmer and more like put together, and I'm much more assertive, and I can really feel it with the children. Especially today, it was a very long day, and I was good with them the whole day, and I really think it's because of the way I sleep, because I just filter so much more of what is happening around me, and I don't get overwhelmed, and I don't get nervous or exhausted emotionally, and I don't lose my temper. I don't and it's something that I think they see in me. I think they feel that I'm much more stable, so they listen to me and they respect me, and I don't need to put so much effort into making them do stuff, and which is a nice cycle. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm not overwhelmed, and all external stimulation is much lower. Maybe because I'm exhausted somehow, but I don't feel exhausted, or maybe something to do with this sleep pattern is reducing sensitivity. That's what I hope, because I would like it to stay this way. And I don't want to be to realize that it's actually like a side effect of my brain digesting itself because of lack of sleep. I would like it to be a positive side effect of sleeping less. I had a very good night of sleep, and I tried to get my nap in the kindergarten, but the kids wouldn't let me, and I didn't have time to find a better place. I think next time I will get a better place, and I will close the door and I will just go to sleep, and I will like treat it much more seriously, because I did feel not as good as I would if I had this morning sleep. And I had a nap when I came home, and now it's evening and I feel good. The only thing that bothers me is the fact that today in the kindergarten I chased the kids for about 10 minutes and I was out of breath, and it's not very typical of me. I usually outrun kids, and I was really tired. I couldn't play catch with them for very long because I needed to rest, and I think that has something to do with lack of sleep or something. I didn't get enough recharged, didn't get enough rest, I think. And maybe 2 naps of 20 minutes is not enough. I do feel it on the weekend when I get 3 naps like that. I feel much better, and I can exercise more, and it's not very practical to get 3 naps a day if I'm working, if I'm doing something. So maybe I can have a longer nap, or maybe I can have somehow a longer night's sleep, although I prefer not to. But I think I'm going to keep it like this till the end of this experiment, which is a month. And after this month is over, I'm going to try and experiment some variations of it, because I feel like I'm good, but I'm good with my with the way I feel, the way I think is good, but my body could be better. My body could rest more. I need, especially if I exercise, especially if I'm active, then I would prefer it to be well rested. So I'm gonna try and see how to fix it, and I'm gonna be more strict about my naps, and maybe that will help, because now I get naps, but sometimes I get only like 10 hours of nap time, and maybe the second nap doesn't happen, or the first nap doesn't happen. So basically I just get 4.5 hours, which usually I don't, something happens during the night and I wake up, so it's not even a 4.5 full hours, and maybe like 10 hours of sleep during the day, that is not enough. I need more than that. So maybe I can just make that more stable, and I won't compromise, and I will get my 20 minutes. We'll see if it helps. So that's me today. And tomorrow we're having elections, and I'm not going to work. I'm going to fill my day with naps, and we'll see what happens. And yeah, it's night, and now I'm gonna find myself something to eat.